Hi, and welcome to Market Chameleon. In this tutorial, you'll be learning a few of the powerful things our earnings options strategy screener can do for you, such as quickly scan and compare millions of back-tested earnings strategies, instantly evaluate historical win rates and profitability, discover which strategy performed the best and within which time frame. We'll also do 3 actual scans to demonstrate how quickly you can find high-potential trading opportunities. Let's start with the introduction of the homepage. You can go to the Earnings Options Strategy Screener from the top menu. Here you can find all the filters at the top of the page, and all the statistics neatly laid out for you in the table below. This table is easy to use, intuitive and logically grouped, so you can quickly find what you're looking for. The main table view is divided into 4 parts: Underlying, Strategy Details, Strategy Back-Test Results, and Next Earnings Info. Underlying shows the descriptive information about each related stock. Strategy Details shows the details of the earnings trade strategy being analyzed. It shows you the option strategy, such as call spread, butterfly, straddle, strangle, and so forth, as well as the historical entry and exit points around earnings. This is intended to make a quick comparison of different strategy performances over various and identical timeframes. Strategy Backtest Results are the actual profitability and risk results from our backtest analysis, which allows you to evaluate the potential of this strategy. Think of this section as a window into a what-if analysis. You'll be able to see the win rate and average return if you had traded using a similar strategy in the past. The win rate tells you the frequency of profitable outcomes, and the average return tells you the profitability you would have realized in the long run. You can also see the best and worst returns during the test period, the standard deviation of the returns around the average, and its Sharpe ratio, which is used by traders to assess the average return compared to its risk. Generally, the higher the Sharpe ratio, the more attractive the risk-return ratio of the strategy. Next Earnings Info is a quick reference of important dates around earnings. You can see the next upcoming earnings, whether projected or announced, and the number of days to go until the next earnings date. The days to next open makes it extremely easy for you to find the strategies you can trade for the current day, or to plan your trades for up to the next 60 days. And the days to next close will tell you how many days you have to hold that position until you need to close out. It's that easy. Now let me show you a quick example of how easy it is to search for earnings trade strategies. Simply modify the filters and the results will automatically be reflected in the table below. Or, if you need help getting started, you can use one of the Market Chameleon preset filtered reports conveniently located on the left-hand side there. Let's do a really quick search example. First, you can select a particular strategy type in the drop-down filter. Or for this first example, we'll compare all strategies against each other and leave the filter on Any. Select Win Rate Percentage to be above 70%. Meaning the strategy was profitable more than 70% of the time in our backtest study. Select Average Return above 10%, meaning the earnings strategy was profitable over the tested observations and had at least 10% returns on average in the backtest. Select Median Return above 10%, meaning that at least half or more of the backtest results returned above a 10% return. This is to double set a floor in case the average return was skewed for an individual outlier move. Let's select a Sharpe ratio of above 0.75. This is to filter out a better return-to-risk ratio. Remember, a higher Sharpe ratio is normally more desirable. Lastly, let's select Next Open Date to be next 5 business days, meaning that you would initiate the trade within the next 5 business days. Now that we defined our criteria, we can see the results in the table have been automatically narrowed down. You can sort by market cap, win rate, or any other column by clicking on the column heading. All the relevant data is conveniently displayed in an interactive table. As you can see, the strategy type and time frame with pertinent statistics is all quickly available for you to make an easy decision. Now that we filtered our potential trades, we can see if there are any opportunities we can take action. Let's set the next open date to today. Because while we are having breakfast, we want to know which trades we are going to set in the morning before we go out for a round of golf. Once you are satisfied with a specific combination of filters, just click on Save New Preset. Type in a name to assign to this research report, And the next time you come back to analyze your latest opportunities, the filter is saved for you in My Saved Presets. Let's do another example using more filters. Let's look for call options with a historical run-up into earnings. Suppose we want to find options that tended to profit from an upside stock movement and increases in implied volatility leading up to earnings, while at the same time avoiding the risk of the actual earnings move. First, let's set the filters: win rate above 70%, average return above 10%, and median return above 10%, because we are only interested in historically profitable trades. And let's select the strategy type to long 25 delta call, because an out-of-money call can profit from an upside movement in the stock as well as an increase in implied volatility. Let's also set the historical open range to 2 weeks before and the historical close range to 1 day before, because we want to give the stock an implied volatility time to increase, and we want to close the position before the earnings announcement. This will show us historical results if the calls were purchased 2 weeks prior to earnings and closed out the day before. Finally, let's also set the market cap to over $10 billion for companies that usually have greater liquidity in the options market. And just like that, you can see how quickly the filters revealed what call options had the highest win rates and highest average returns. And now you can simply start picking the strategy you are ready to initiate. Another popular strategy is to sell elevated option premium prior to earnings, in anticipation of buying back the options at a lower cost after the earnings are released. Since after earnings are released, options normally experience an implied volatility crush. Let's choose strategy type short at the money straddle, meaning simultaneously selling the at the money call and put option to be short the straddle. Let's select historical open range to be day before and historical close range to be day of earnings, because we want to initiate the trade 1 day before earnings, assuming the implied volatility to be at its highest and profit from the implied volatility crush after the earnings are released. Now let's select win rate above 70%, meaning that the short straddle strategy was profitable 70% or more of the time in our backtest results. Let's choose average return above 30%. Since we are short the straddle, this means that on average, the straddle premium lost at least 30% or more of its value in the backtest study, which would be profitable to the seller of the options. Keep in mind when selling options, you can lose more than the premium you collect. Let's choose median return above 30%, meaning in our backtest study, at least half of the observations resulted in the straddle losing 30% or more of its value. Again, this would be profitable to the seller of option premium. Now you can sort the filtered results by win rate or average return to see what short straddles performed the best. And you can also quickly scan the best and worst returns in the study period to gauge the high-low range of returns. You can scan for a particular stock by entering the symbol into the search box on the top right of the table. As an example, MSFT for Microsoft. You can create multiple watch lists and scan for symbols only in your watch list. Select for stocks that belong to a particular index or sector, ETF, or industry. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to explore the other views as well. For further assistance, please contact us at support@MarketChameleon.com.